Hello everyone, welcome to the new project, and in this project we are going to learn how to make a calculator using React.js. We will simply learn the React.js fundamentals like using the hooks, and we will use only a useState hook so that we can go with the calculator part. And we will learn also the CSS grids and a wonderful user interface I will make for you. You can just copy paste the code. I will provide you all the lecture notes in the code lectures videos. To get initialized with the project, we should have make sure npm is installed in our system globally, so that npm module can make our React project. So there is a simple command to create the React project. I will define you all the things in the initialization or part of the project, and the topics we will be discovering. We can use the use reducer hooks as well as the use state hook. I will explain you both the thing, how to the disadvantage or advantage of using the both hooks. But using the use state will make it easier for you to learn, but use reducer will mostly focus on the redux part. So I will go with the use state mode. This is the final result we will achieve. As you can see, the calculator user interface is very fine and very good looking, and it will very attract the user to come into our website. So the first goal should be to make the user interface very fair enough for the user so that they can attract it to our website mainly. And we will know how to calculate the part of the user. We have to calculate or define function for AC, delete, and calculating the each thing and handling the error through try catch method, etc. Now I hope you have understood the introduction and what we are going to make. So let's head over to the introduction of the lecture and initialization of the project. Good luck. Welcome to the new lecture. So here we are going to make the calculator application from scratch. So as you can see, I have created my project or initialized my project with the command npx create react app, and then you can use any of the name, that is I have used calculator. And then we're going to delete the unnecessary files. For suppose there is some react.js and all the css logo, all the files I have deleted because those are unnecessary. Now coming to the app.js, we have to build the calculator UI firstly. So for the UI, I will create a form, that is the whole calculator will stay within a form, and the buttons and for the input, that is what we are giving, that is 2 plus 2, 2 plus 3, and 2 into 2, all those things will be inside an input so that we can get the output by calculating it. Now for the UI to get started with, we have to give a class name for our initial div, that is I will give it as a class name as suppose container, and I have the CSS pre-made, so I will provide you within the notes lecture. So as if you can see, we have a class name called container, and then this will contain a form. So I will just simply type a form over here, and this form will hold only the input, that is where we are going to give our calculation part, that is suppose anything 2 into 4 or all the calculation thing will be printed in this input only. So it will be a self-closing tag, else it will not work in React.js, as we all know that. And it will be a type of text so that there is no optional thing can be entered here. And then it will have an initial value, and that value will be, suppose I say, a result. And what this result will be, this result will be a use state hook. So let me consider a hook. I will initialize a use state hook over here for the import. Now after importing the use state hook, we have to create two constant, that is the hook to manage the state. Now I will create the constant as one result and one set result, as we have used the result value over here. So I will use the result, and to change the value of result I will use set result. Now by this way we can manage the state, and I will use the use state for initialization, and initially it will be blank, nothing will be there, so that our input area be blank initially when we open our application. So this is the result we have. Now comes the part of our buttons. Those buttons will be in a grid format. As we all know, calculator buttons are in grid format. So I will give the buttons in another div, as suppose name it is a class name of keypad, or we can say button holder. I have name is a buttons. Now if this buttons will hold all the buttons over here, so we will just one by one paste one buttons and we can give the CSS later on. I will give the button over here, and for firstly the button will be a AC, which will, that is, clear everything from the screen. And this button will also having a on click function also, so that we can handle the click. So let me just give a on click over here so that we can handle the click. That is, AC will work as on clicking on AC, it will clear everything from the screen. So on click, handle clicks. Now the handle click is not defined yet, so we have to define this handle click in the function as a function. Now I can give it as a constant with the name handle click. Now it will hold a fat arrow function that will contain, for now it's contain nothing. Okay, now we can copy paste this button repeatedly how much we need. Now secondly, the AC, then we will have a delete button for deleting text by one, and then we will have one button named the multiplications thing. Okay, now we can give the button as divide. So to give the symbol of division, we just have to give it a icon like and divide. So this will, so and divide with a semicolon will place our division symbol over there. Now we have to put our numerics over here. Now firstly the 7 will be there, and then, so to manage the calculator we have to put three numerics, then one operand, then three numerics, then another operand. So as I have given the first operand divide, then the first numeric, then comes my second numeric, also the third numeric over here, it will be 9, and then again a operand will be there. So this time the operand will be multiplication. So for multiplication to place over here, you can simply write a cross, or you can simply write and times. This will generate the multiplication symbol. These are the basic HTMLs. Now we can copy paste the thing again so that we can give the signs over here. Now what comes is the dot and the, that is the decimal, and the equal sign. So we will simply write the equal sign over here, and also we have missed the 0. So for the 0 to place over here, we will simply paste three buttons. Then three buttons will be 1 0, the second one will be a dot, and the last one will be a equal sign. And this one we have no need of this. Okay, so we have completed with the user interface, that is the calculator main our components. Now we have to arrange them within order and apply the CSS. I will provide the CSS code over here, that is I have pre-made CSS code. I will just simply apply the CSS over here. Welcome to the next lecture, and here we are going to apply the CSS in our calculator. Now to go with the CSS, as you can see I have made changes with the classes for now, and the classes are firstly the container which will hold the whole calculator within it, and then I have given the input as a class name as current operand, or and the output as a current operand and output, as because it will hold the output of our result. And for the buttons I have given the whole div as a buttons, as I have shown in my previous lecture. But for the AC, that is or clear all button, I have given a class name AC. This AC is for to make it a red color, and the spam to is for it will take to spam while in a grid space. Also for the equal to sign I have given the span to, so that it can take the two spaces. As I will show you what is span to actually means. So for the spam to is that the grid column will be spam to, that is it will take two columns. Now I will show you the result inside the browser, and inside the browser the result is, as you can see, the AC button and the equals button have taken two column spaces, as because I have given the spam to class over there, and all the other buttons have the shape of a square. And so that we are good to go with the user interface, and I hope it's looking very fine like a real calculator to you, and you can make changes with the UI. I have provided the CSS code in this lecture also. You can go good to go with that and follow according to me. Now we have to handle the click, so that when we press anything inside our when we press any button, and we can pass the button text or button name inside our input or output area. So to do so, we have to manage our handle click option. Now to handle our click, we have to give it the name of the each buttons as the values we have assigned, so that we can pass on the names to the output screen. For example, if I name, firstly we will exclude the AC and delete button, as because on deleting or on clicking on AC, it will simply clear our screen or clear one text by one. So firstly, we will give all the buttons a name. So you can select all the buttons by pressing the Alt over your keyboard and clicking over here. Now we will just simply assign the names as the values. I will show you how. Now by this way we have selected all the buttons, and I will give it a name as what it will be the value. Now for the name I have to select each one of them. Firstly, for the division I will pass the division thing only, so that it will have the value of division. Like if I pass the division over here, I will show you with one example, and I have to handle the click as like. Now to handle the click, we have to firstly call the set result function over here. So if I set result, now how will I pass the values in the result variable? Now inside the set result, I have to just concatenate the previous result value, so that the previous result I will type here, and the result is initially holding a blank. So dot concat will pass or will concat the result value, that is the blank value, with the new value we are passing over it. So it will concat, and then what value it will concat to the result. So to concat with the result, I will just pass over an event here, and this event E will hold the name. Now E dot target dot name will hold the division string, that is the division name I have given over here. Now let us check in the browser for once. In the browser we will just simply click on the division button, and then it must show the division icon in the screen, that is in the output screen. Now as we can see, I have opened the browser, and I will simply click on the division button, and it will give me the division value that I have passed in the as a name in the input or in the button. Now if I press 7, 8, 9, it will show the as it is value over here, as because I have passed the name as 7, 8, 9 over here. Now we'll simply just give the names as its value or the numeric terms. Okay, we have done with putting the names over here. Now we can test over the browser, and it will work finely. Now come the problem of the handling click for delete and the AC button. Now for the delete, it should remove one text from the back, and AC will clear all the text in the output. Now we will learn this two button handling in the next lecture. So let's head towards our next lecture. Welcome to the next lecture. Here we will learn how to handle the click for AC and delete button, so that we can clear while pressing the AC and clear one by one while pressing the delete button. Now for the AC it is simply very clear, so that we have to click on AC and it will clear everything. So I will just simply remove this handle click and I will announce a function named clear over here. I will have to initialize the function in here as a constant. Now as a constant I will write clear, and this clear will hold a anonymous function. This function will simply set the result as nothing, just blank. Okay, so that's all about the clear. Now we can give it a test, like when we write something inside the calculator, and I will refresh the browser once and I will show you. When we write something inside the calculator and we will have to press the AC button and it will clear everything. So for example, if we write the 789 multiplied by 9, all those things, and we will have to just press on AC and it will get clear. Now come, let's go towards our delete button. Now what delete button will do is that it will clear from the ending. Now I will call the function as delete screen. Now the delete screen will be called as a anonymous function. Again over here I will put the constant and I will paste and I will announce a function inside it as a fat arrow function. Using fat arrow function is very easy, so that you will be very familiar with it. Now I will simply, now inside the delete screen, what we'll do, we have to slice the string. Now slicing means just to tear apart or divide the strings what we have written in the output screen. That is something in the output screen already. We have to just slice it apart from the ending. Now we'll just give the set result as usual, that is we have to pass the value inside the result only. Now we will have to take the result variable that is already have been filled inside our output screen, and dot we will give the result as slice. Now how will we slice? It will be sliced from 0. Consider the whole string as an array of strings or array of characters. So each character will be in each position of array. An array will definitely start from 0, as we all know. Now it will slice the string from 0 to result dot length. That is the whole length of the result minus 1. This way it will just delete apart the string from the ending. So we can test it inside our browser. So when how this will work is that when we will write something and we will click on delete, it will just slice the string from the ending and it will give us a result by deleting from the end. Now let us try one thing, like I will write 7 8 9 4 and thing, and then I will click on delete. As you can see, it is deleting from the ending. So we have done with the calculator delete and AC part over here. Now comes to the calculations. Now one thing I want to mention is that we can simply give here as -1 rather than typing the large thing like result dot length -1. There's both the statement means the same thing. And for the calculation part, we'll head towards our next lesson and we can complete over there. Welcome to the next lecture, and here we will learn about how to do the calculation part of the calculator, so that we can print or we can give the output of what user wants to calculate, like division, multiplication and all the things. Now to give the calculation thing, we have to trigger one function in the equal sign. So rather than giving handle click, I will give the function as calculate. Now for the calculation, I have announced the function calculate. Now I have to initialize a function within the calculate. So I have to do the constant and calculate, which is equals to anonymous function, which will contain the calculation logic over here. Now how the calculation logic will actually works. So we have to evaluate the thing inside our input, that is the screen. And we have to evaluate and we have to print the actual calculation. So a simple method is there, that is we have to again set the result, and this result will do what is that eval. Eval is a function which will evaluate what we will put inside the string. Now this result have a return type, and this return type we have to handle like what I mean is that we have to take the string from the after calculation of the result, that is 7 minus 8 or 6 into 2, the 12, that 12 thing will we have to get the output as a string. So I will just convert into string by like typing toString. This way we can get the output as a string. Now let's test in our browser. Here it will what happen, here it will what do is that it will simply give us the calculation. Now let me type 7 into 8 and press hit the equal button. As you can see, it will giving the 56, and we can delete the whole thing. We will just 5 minus 556 minus 6, it will give us the 50. Now there is one error we can get. For suppose if I write or anyone write this way, it must give us an error. If I hit the equal sign over here, it will give me an error. As you can see, the error is unexpected token, the star and all the thing. Now we have to handle this error properly. How can I do so? So to handle this error, we have to use the try catch method over here. The try catch method is basically handling the error in proper way. I will give it a try, and this try we hold this exact calculation thing we are giving. That is this function on hitting the equals button. This function will firstly try to run this code, that is the line number 20, and if it not run well, if it found something error or anything else, it will just catch the thing, and that thing will catch the error, and we have to pass the error message in our screen. So I will simply write set result over here, and set result will hold a error message, or we can say here as a syntax error. Now let's try again what we have done. So we have properly solved the problem over here. Now we can simply type anything, and simple calculation we will do over there. Now if I do the same mistake, plus minus multiplication and give equals to, as you can see it's giving us the syntax error. So this is how we can make a calculator, and I hope you have understood it clearly. The logic have been mentioned with a very proper and simplest way, and thank you for staying with us in this lecture. Good luck.